LoZ New Comic Book Day!
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another weekly installment of LoZ's NCBD, fucking alphabet soup. Legion on Zoom's New Comic Book Day. I stole Rod's thunder. Miguel, what do we got this week?
Yo, exactly. So for today, June 23rd, 2021, like summer's fucking here, motherfuckers. Like, all right, what are we doing? What are we reading? So we got a few recommendations. The typical stuff, Marvel and DC, of course, but we're gonna give you guys one special image one. This is just one. We're gonna give it a shot. It's been getting a lot of hype. We have Spawn's Universe #1 by Todd McFarlane and several artists. They have a lot of fucking artists on it. And the idea with this is like, as you know, Spawn actually has been one of the longest running fucking creator owned books, right? Word. In the early 90s, mid 90s, I think it came out, right? I probably should know this. But the thing is, now for the first time, it's really going to become its own universe, and it's going to have this is supposed to be the entry point for people like me and you who maybe read Spawn a little bit, maybe seen a few episodes of the HBO show, which I've actually been watching it now on HBO Max. It's really fucking good. It's a great, even the intro, because it starts with Todd McFarlane talking. Like, nice. Yo, he turns and like,
I love that young Italian Todd McFarlane. I don't know if he's Italian, but he looks like Italian as fucking.
Not McFarlane. That's like
I was gonna say, judging by his name is McFarlane.
But look at him in those intros. He's fresh as hell, young, making that image money.
Making that Spawn
one of the first
bread.
Superstars, man. One of the first superstars outside of like Stanley, Jack Kirby, household names. I remember Todd McFarlane was on everybody's tongue in those, like back in the early 90s when Spawn debuted. Spawn was like the top motherfucking character.
It's on HBO Max, I think, the old school cartoon show, right?
Yeah. It is. And it cartoon feels like infantile. No, it's like it's an adult fucking show that's animated. No, and it's actually really good. I just finished season 1. I recommend people watch it. It's so good. And even that little cheesy thing at the beginning, it's cool with Todd talking to you about the episode and his inspiration. It's really fucking good. And yeah, and Todd, I think he's talking about McFarlane. He's the CEO of Image, so he's making fucking money. He's got his McFarlane toys. Yet he's still been on it. He's been on his fucking Spawn book. You got to give him credit. But this is the first time that it's going to become a universe. It's going to branch out to a bunch of other stories, a bunch of different titles, different Spawns, like Gunslinger Spawn. There's I don't know. There's other Spawns. She don't really know.
Spawn has a lot of variations, bro.
There's gonna be a lot of variations, a lot of different books that's gonna expand the universe. And so, I think it's also to take advantage because there's been the news, which we haven't talked about too much, that what are the Twitch and what's the other cop name?
Sam and Twitch.
Apparently, they're gonna become a show also. Yeah. And so that's been in the works from years before. Kevin Smith really tried to make that into a show too. But now it's actually apparently going to really become a show. And so this is, if you want to know about Spawn, and if you like fucking dope ass looking characters with epic chains and shit, read Spawn. Come on.
Word.
Actually, last week we recommended Venom, the last issue of Venom from Donny Cates, Venom 200. And there's a good quote that Donny Cates shares that he says from Todd McFarlane, that Todd McFarlane just shared with him. Kids like chains, and that's fucking true. Not just kids. Chains are fucking cool. Because like if you read Venom 200, I hope you did right now, you figured out that now Venom's son, Eddie Brock's son, Dylan, is the new Venom, and he has fucking chains, and he looks fucking cool. Okay, so
can't go wrong.
You cannot get wrong. So read Spawn's Universe #1.
I just need 1 minute. Best chained devil Spawn. Is it Scorpion, Ghost Rider, or Spawn? Real quick, go.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Ghost Rider. Rod.
Spawn. I think he has more chains than both of them combined, and thus he is the most epic of the chained devil Spawns.
My only reason that she's choosing Ghost Rider is because
I was gonna say Hellspawn.
Because it's that Spawn also uses his cape a lot, but Ghost Rider really only uses his chains.
Facts. He's a biker's biker. Yeah.
All right, but so those are recommendations, at least from Image. And then let's move on to Marvel. For Marvel, we've been talking. Fucking read the Heroes Reborn book. Issues 1 through 7 already came out by Jason Aaron. We have the last issue, Heroes Return, which is going to be exclusively Jason Aaron and Ed McGuiness. We've said before, we had a different artist for each of the Heroes Reborn book. It was all about Blade getting the Avengers back together while the Squadron Supreme figures shit out what was happening in this Mephisto fucking created world, which is because of Phil Coulson, because Phil Coulson's the president and he did all this with like a cosmic cube that's like a hell cube or something. It's fucking dope. And so now the last issue ended with Squadron Supreme facing off the Avengers. Fucking read this. Let's see what fucking happens. Yeah, so I recommend this a lot. Other than that, we've been saying about these books before. Guardians of the Galaxy, number 15 by Al Ewing and Juan Frigeri. Al Ewing has been doing an incredible run with Immortal Hulk. His run on Guardians of the Galaxy has been fucking, I've said this before, the last good run was by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning. This is the run the movies you've seen were because of Andy Lanning and Dan Abnett. That's the Guardians of the Galaxy you know and love. All right. Al Ewing is the next big fucking Guardians of the Galaxy writer. I cannot highlight this enough. They fought the gods of Olympus. Jesus. They're doing all kinds of crazy shit right now. Now they're basically the Avengers in space. And now they have Doctor Doom in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. Because what? Yes, exactly. Something epic is coming. Like, that's the thing. Something so epic is coming. It's going to lead to the event that's called The Last Annihilation, which is supposed to happen, I think, next month. That Doom is aware about it, and he basically joins the Guardians of the Galaxy because of it. It's fucking good. Read this shit. Dr. Doom in space with Rocket Raccoon.
I like how something so, like, world-breaking, like, as far as, like, the grammar goes, is happening in such a casual time frame. The Last Annihilation is happening next month.
Yes.
Shit's right around the corner.
No, and the art is beautiful. The story, the whole stuff is epic. And we have the key Guardians of the Galaxy characters that you love. Nova also as well. And no, it's really good, fucking good. We recommend it. Building off of Al Ewing's work, though, you have to then, if you're reading Guardians of the Galaxy, you're going to have to read Sword. Sword number 6 comes out. This is the X-Men book. This is X-Men in space. And so Al Ewing is writing the X-Men in space book. So he's writing basically the Avengers in space book, which is Guardians of the Galaxy. He's writing X-Men in space. And he's really, really, really building this cosmic world of Marvel in a way that I'm telling you, we have not seen since Andy Lanning and Dan Abnett from back in the day, from DNA. And so I really recommend Sword 6. It's dealing with the repercussions. Oh, okay. We can talk about this now. We've been talking about the Hellfire Gala, the big event, the X-Men, on Krakoa, introducing themselves to the world, to the humans. The big thing they did now is that the X-Men, the mutants, colonized Marz.
What the fuck? Somebody called it, I think, on the last episode. Somebody said some shit like that.
Yeah. No, and appropriate with the color. If you're watching us on YouTube right now,
word, I'm on Marz.
Chez is on Marz right now.
I'm with the mutants.
Like, so they beat the rest of the countries of the earth. So that's why we've got glimpses of how the Hellfire Gala ends, with a lot of the humans and the governments not very happy with them, like, legit. So they not just colonized the earth, they fucking flexed their muscles, especially this was Magneto's idea. So in Sword number 6, we have a big confrontation between Magneto and Sword. So this is what you got to watch, because we have a new Sword that's based on Marz. So we have Sword, which is the supposedly protecting Earth from aliens on Earth. And then we have Sword from Marz as well. And so this was all Magneto's idea. And they just not colonized Marz. They also made it habitable. They changed they added fucking iron to the core. They did a whole bunch of shit where their oxygen exists. There's rivers flowing. There's what's he say? Grass growing and all that kind of stuff. So they
flora and fauna.
Well, what's the word? They terraformed it. They colonized it in terraformed Mars. Toma, humanos. Fuck that. Yo, that's so fucking. If you're listening to us right now, this is why you need to read the Hellfire Gala books, the Planet Size X-Men from before. Read Sword right now. And then building off of that from the Hellfire Gala, we also have Way of X #3. By Simon Spurrier and Bon Quinn, which I'm glad Ches is fucking reading this book too. What do you think, bro?
Dude, this book has legit crossed. I just caught goosebumps, even like as soon as I started talking about it, like for real, because it crossed off a bunch of shit from my comic book reading bucket list. Like, I'll start because it's so crazy how much it covers. One, I've always wanted to read an X-Men book. I never really have always been a DC head. Boom. I've always wanted to get an in-depth look at Nightcrawler. Got that. He's the main character of Way of X. So what's happening is, because all the mutants have the island of Krakoa, they have their ideal utopia, they can come back whenever. It's actually starting to flip the newer generations, kind of like, I feel like it's almost like a social commentary on today. People have it so good that things are starting to get fucked up.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, like I love Way of X. It's so layered and so deep when you think about it. It's a commentary comic I'm starting to see. So because they can come back, there's not really any death unless you pay attention to the bureaucracy and shit. It's like the kids are getting a bit more reckless. People are getting almost too indulgent because there's not really like a system of belief in place. And there seems to be this big baddie in the background called the Patchwork Man. So the whole series itself has to deal with the big existential questions. Like when it comes to theology, it's Nightcrawler, who was a devout Catholic. This is also about his transition away from that after everything that he's seen on Krakoa, because it makes you question so many concepts. So then, the deeper they get into this shit, the Patchwork Man catches the attention of Charles Xavier. And in between all the religious questioning and him speaking to different Omega level mutants, Charles reveals that he believes, and this is another bucket list item, I've always wanted to get an in-depth look at any comic with David Hayler in it, also known as Legion, one of the most powerful mutants in all of comic bookdom, point blank, who's Xavier's son. So now, and this is from #2, which I'm sure I can say this because everyone's about to buy #3. So apparently this organization called Orcus. Yeah. I don't know where the fuck they've kept Legion, but they had his brain. So apparently he's been dead all this time. He's been brought back to life on Krakoa in a fully formed body. And he's
and I think building off of that, because I do think that's what's beautiful about the story, about like, we know Nightcrawler's Catholic. He I think he's an ordained priest or something.
Yeah,
right? Like
full, I think.
Full, and he's dealing with all this shit, right? Because people now don't die, right? They come back, and so it's like, what does this mean, right? And all that kind of shit. And so dealing with all that, and then in this story, right, he finds out that, like you said, it's like Orcus had tortured Legion, basically just kept his brain alive. Yeah. And so Legion asks Nightcrawler, kill me. Yeah. So I can come back, which is, it's incredible, the tension. Simon Spurrier is a great fucking writer. You believe how Nightcrawler struggles with this moment, and then fucking like he's about to pray for Legion as he's about to kill him, and then he's like, fucking never mind, and then just kills him.
Exactly.
And it's like fucking it's just layered as fuck.
Exactly.
Because as we said, we have this whole thing about from before. There's certain precognitive mutants that can't be resurrected, and then we have the whole thing with Patchwork Man, which is like this kind of boogeyman that the people who come back from the resurrected, they mention that they saw the Patchwork Man, but you don't know what it is.
And that's the thing. So just like Miguel said, precogs don't get revived. Legion is so powerful that when Xavier decided to hold off, He did it to himself and put his own consciousness in his own body.
Yo!
He's a god with a lowercase g.
I think for people out there to know, like the way the resurrection thing works, just quickly, I hope you've heard some of our, I think it was LoC Apocalypse. I think it was one of our episodes where we went into this in deep detail.
I think so, yep.
Yeah. Where the way they're resurrected by a bunch of mutants, they do the whole mutant body, blah, 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 and Sinister's genetics stuff. But Xavier is the key thing at the end that he was through Cerebro, basically downloads the essence of the people into the husk of the individual. Legion was the motherfucker, the first one to do it on his own, because we have this scene where Charles Xavier says, no, he's like, I can't do it. Legion is too chaotic. He will destroy everything we've done. And Legion straight up goes like, nah, if you want to do it, you got to do it yourself. And he brings himself back to life. That's how fucking Omega level.
Yeah, like I don't even understand that. Like, what? but then it goes to show once he comes back, he's quickly become, like, once again, bucket list reading item. I've always wanted to read something with Legion in it. And he's fast becoming one of my favorite characters. He gets back. He's like, all right, first of all, I'm not as crazy as you people think. You guys are being holier than thou, and let's get real with everything that's going on. So then the big mic drop at the end, because he's just so powerful. He realized, yeah, I know the Patrick man, of course. He's familiar with all astral plane, I guess, happenings just because he's such a massive power. He drops the shoe and identifies the Patchwork as fucking Onslaught. I couldn't even take it anymore. I was like, what? What the? Yo, I've never owed out loud while reading a comic that many times in my life. That happens very rarely. I legit said, oh, shit. And then it just ends there.
Yo, exactly.
I gotta see that page though. What's like that whole epic armored onslaught? Or
No, they just reveal that so apparently there's a crisis coming. Maybe all this crazy shit is tying together, but Onslaught is coming. And he's before my time, which is the last. Not before I was born, but before like I cared deeply about comics. And this is another bucket list item. I've only seen Onslaught in the Marvel vs. Capcom games. I'm getting Onslaught within my reading time. Right. So I'm all in on this book. I fucking love it. One of my favorite comic books ever, and I'm only 2 issues in.
Yeah, we shared not that long ago on our Instagram, Legion on Zoom. You got follow us. Also on Twitter, follow us. Where there's, I think, cover of number issue 4 or 5. It's a picture of Onslaught proper dragging Nightcrawler. So because at the end of issue 2, we just get Onslaught like as a cloud figure, because Legion is the only one that sensed him and knows that it's him. You know, but for fans out there who don't know what Onslaught, you fucking need to know who Onslaught is. One of the biggest events of the fucking 90s. It's like there was this awesome X-Men number 25, which was illustrated, I think, by Andy Kubert. It's the issue where Magneto fucking took the Wolverine's adamantium out of his body, and because of that extreme instance, Xavier shut Magneto's brain down. Went so far as doing his powers like to that. What that led to is that he apparently took a little bit of Magneto into his mind, and then led to, it was a seed to create Onslaught. So Onslaught is basically the amalgam of Xavier and Magneto. It is this epic telepathic creature, and then led to the Onslaught event, which is huge, which actually led to the original Heroes Return Reborn event from the 90s that we've been talking about, the new version now.
It's all connected.
It's all fucking connected. Onslaught's coming back. Heroes Return is coming back. Fucking read all of this right now, guys. And so it's fucking big, because now we figure out that Onslaught never died. Like he's still there in the ether, and like he's like involved in this process. It's like, what is happening? Why is he fucking with people as they die and come back? Like, what's going on? And so the only people involved is Legion and Nightcrawler. Come on, how do you not want to? And then just to sell this next issue specifically, because we're talking about Hellfire Gala, apparently this issue is about how Kurt Nightcrawler got drunk at the Hellfire Gala, doesn't remember shit, and it's about him remembering what happened during the event. So I'm sure it's going to be a fun and still consequential book. So we recommend that a lot. So and the last book, and for DC, for NCBD, the one we recommend, we've been talking about this, Robin #3 by Joshua Williamson and Gleb Melnikov. We highly recommend this. We mentioned before. Why were we interested in it? Robin died at the beginning of at the end of issue 1, because he's in this Mortal Kombat type setting at the Lazarus Island. But it is the Lazarus Island, so of course people come back to life because it's the Lazarus Island, right? So, but it's very Mortal Kombat ish. The rule is you get 3 deaths and then that's it, and then you're dead. And so that's the tournament idea. It's good art. It's like it's a lot of good fun stuff. The biggest thing is that they have Connor Hawk, I think, who was the first Green Arrow sidekick. I don't know anything about Green Arrow, but the interwebs say that's a big deal. So I don't know.
Yeah, it is. He's one of the top martial artists on earth, right? He's like, it's Connor Hawk, Richard Dragon, Lady Shiva, Dick Grayson.
Shit.
Yeah, Connor Hawk is the actual
men.
son of Green Arrow, right? Yeah.
Right. Shit. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then Roy Harper is was like the Dick Grayson to Oliver.
But like for Hawk, like he was never like. Did something happen like for the New 52, or we never saw him again, right? Or because that's what I think. What I've read, like that he just disappeared. So now this is the first time he's appearing, and so that's why it's a big deal. And like Rod said, he's a fucking epic fucking martial artist. Imagine him going fucking toe to toe with fucking Damian Wayne, man, the son of Batman and fucking Talia al Ghul.
That's crazy.
And apparently Connor Hawk is being influenced by some league. I don't remember which league. For one of the leagues, not Damian's league. Not the Damian's family league. But it's a fun book. It's good art. We really, really recommend you guys. Come on, fucking read it. It's fun.
And I'm not going to front props to DC, because that's one thing they've always done that I really have never. I mean, I've seen it from Marvel in the form of, like Shang-Chi and Iron Fist. But I feel like DC has really always gone balls deep into the hierarchy of like their top martial artists. And there's discussions and shit. And like there's panels in comics where people have conversations about who the top martial artists on Earth are. You don't see that too often in Marvel. You just Iron Fist and Shang-Chi. That's it.
Yeah. All right, that's true. And so those are our recommendations for the weeklies. These are coming out right now today. Go to your comic book shop, go to Comixology online, get them both, get them on your digital fucking app, and then go get the actual book too. Why not? But besides that, if you're only on the digital side, we got our DC Universe Infinite picks. These are the issues that came out this week. So yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
And so these are the books we're recommending. For me, I'm recommending Batman 105 by James Tynion IV and Christian Duce. And I think it has a lot of other artists for this book. It's still just building the lore of Batman after the Joker War. It's been fun. They've introduced a new character called the Ghost Maker, which I recently was thinking, how challenging is it to create a new character for Batman that has to do with his past? Batman's been around for 80 years, right? It's like, you would think that everybody fucking already wrote everything that could be written about his past, no? But James Tynion IV figured out a way to add, basically, there's this person that was like Batman. Like we know Batman trained right after the death of his parents. When he became a teenager, he went out the world to train to become the best everything, right?
The best everything.
There's this one person that kind of did the same thing, not for the same reasons, but did the same thing. And then they trained together and then they fell apart. That's who Ghostmaker is. Basically a Batman that says it's okay to kill. It has no emotional attachment to anything. And so he's made his way to Gotham because of everything that would happen with Bane. And so he's trying to show, and with the Joker War too, with everything went to shit. Because obviously now, if you not know, Batman's basically broke as fuck. He doesn't have any money because Joker basically spent the whole money and it was a hot mess. And so now Ghostmaker's in Gotham and is facing off Batman. And it's actually a cool story. Every time I see people making a new Batman character, I'm like, like I don't know. Like,
yeah, who's the artist? Who's the artist in that again? I forget. But it's like I've seen images of Ghostmaker, and he always looks amazing. Like,
I think it was designed
Jimenez.
primarily by Jimenez. It's like I think what is it? Is it Jose Jimenez?
Jorge? No,
Jorge Jimenez. I think you're right?
Yeah, that beautiful artwork. Oh my god,
yes,
Joker War.
Jorge Jimenez.
I love that artwork. So I'm definitely gonna check that out. And my pick, I've been talking about Endless Winter, Justice League Endless Winter. It's an event. It's like a Game of Thrones. There's a Frost King, I believe his name is, a little Marvel-esque, and it's a storyline that's running both in the past with, an old school kind of like team. Think Avengers 1 billion, and then it's taking place in the current time where there's this endless horde of Frost, and not Loki, but just different kinds of, because there's a Frost King or some shit. Yeah. So yeah, now there's a Black Adam Endless Winter special #1.
Ooh. Okay.
Last week we spoke about the Superman special, which I read and I enjoyed.
Oh, did you? Because you didn't like you did like the Endless Winter, the #1 issue.
Yeah,
right?
the Justice League. Yeah, this has been a good story. I'm gonna keep reading it, and I haven't read even though it's 6 months past, it doesn't really matter, right? This is a current Justice League story. And I haven't really read an in continuity Justice League story in a while. I tend to read the multiverse.
Is it 6 months? Is this? I thought it was.
I believe it's 6. Yep, still 6. Because this storyline, I believe, is from the winter. So if you were reading it in paper format, you would have been reading it while we got a good amount of snowstorms this winter here in New York City.
We did.
And not only that, the writers are also speaking a little bit about. Let me tell you about the creative team. So it's written by Ron Marz and the aforementioned Andy Lanning. Yes. Drawn by Brandon Peterson and Marco Santucci, right? Yes. And it's almost like a metaphor for also the quarantine. I'm not sure because I haven't read any interviews with the writers, but they speak about how like this endless winter sweeping the earth, right? Because of this like Viking guy who died tragically. He was a cryomancer in the past, and he died tragically.
A what now?
A cryomancer, so
an
he's
ice
like
mage.
An ice mage.
Oh, that's
epic. So
motherfuckers don't speak magic out here.
And apparently he was frozen underneath the Fortress of Solitude. And then I'm not reading Superman, but apparently something happened to the Fortress of Solitude and it's no longer there. And it awoke the Frost King, and now he's raging, and now everybody's like stuck inside because it's an endless winter. And this is about Black Adam, hot character right now, our favorite DC anti-hero, one of our favorite DC anti-heroes. So I'll be checking that out.
Nice.
Yo, that's awesome. So because I did read the Superman book because this is the Bendis run of Superman in Action Comics, which wasn't. It's okay. It's all right. But one of the coolest things was they introduced Rogal Sar, who's apparently the person who destroyed Krypton. And this person was involved in destroying the original Fortress of Solitude, who now that's why Superman's Fortress of Solitude now is in the Bermuda Triangle. And so that's dope that they're using that to see like something was underneath that, I like that. I'm excited. I'm actually now I think I want to check this book out.
That storyline sounds crazy. I will literally just be getting the info off of you from that. And on that note, folks, there you have the weeklies. Go buy shit, go read shit, so we could keep getting shit. This is Ches.
Yo, it's Miguel.
This is Rod. Peace out, people.
Duce.